I was just about to lock up here and the volunteers were all away, and I got a phone call from one of the local housing associations to refer a family who hadn't eaten since Thursday, and this was now Tuesday, 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, and I brought them in. And while I was trying to explain to the daughter, who was very malnutritioned looking, very thin girl, her mum was over here, and at first she was picking up the tins and she was looking at them, and at first I thought she was looking for a brand of beans. And I turned away for a split second, and by the time I turned back round again, I realised that she'd actually opened the ring pool and she was eating the beans with her fingers. Now that, for me, in 21st century Scotland, is the worst thing I have ever seen.
That could be my mother, it could be my grandmother, and I'm horrified to think that someone has to be in that position.
I just came up and put my hand on her shoulder and I said, "Momo, get your hands washed." She was very, very frail and poor health. Took her in, she got her hands washed, and I gave her a spoon and I played it down as much as I could, because that must have been a really hard thing to do. And I really couldn't imagine, you know, how I would feel if that was my mum sitting there. Gave her a cup of tea and had a wee chat with her, and it turned out that she'd been wrongly sanctioned and there was a delay in the money getting in, so she was left from Thursday to Tuesday with no food, with 2 teenage children to feed. And I just, you know, it was heart-wrenching for me. That was probably the lowest moment since I opened the food bank a year and a half ago, that I actually felt despair of some sort of, you know, how did we get to this? How did we, when people are eating out of tins, cold beans, you know?
It's vitally, vitally important that the more people know about us that can use us, we can help. We can only help through donations and through the public as well, and through them, the more people who can help us, we can help the broader community, the people who really do genuinely need the help. And as an eye-opener, if you were to spend one day here and seeing some of the clients that come through and use the service, it would really be a shock. And people, there are some very heartbreaking stories you see, and I personally feel that it's unacceptable.